Hey y'all, this is Bohemia, going live for my first time on YouTube with Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart readings. We're going to do some mid-monthly readings. I don't know how many I'll get through tonight, probably just a few, and the rest I will do tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and see what is in the cards for Virgo from the 15th to the 30th of November. This is Sun, Moon, or Rising for the sign of Virgo. Getting a card already. I am using the Sweet Twilight Tarot. I have the Tarot of the Moon Garden if I need clarification, and I have some oracles here. So what is going on for Virgo? These are general readings, and we will see whatever subject it pulls up as significant. All right, getting some major arcanas, and we will start there, Virgo. All right, subconscious energy is the Three of Cups. So Three of Cups energy for Virgo, definitely social situations being very important throughout this ending of the month here. Of course, there are times of gathering for some people, depending on what holidays you celebrate or not. This here, though, seems like definitely although others around, there's some energy of feeling a bit stuck and a little bit isolated here, and are choosing between Virgo with the Queen of Wands reversed, the Queen of Chalices, the Queen of Cups here. So there can definitely be fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, or water signs, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, who are prominent in your life at this time. It looks like there could be a returning to a fire sign relationship-wise, or just it doesn't have to be romantic, it can be within family, and yet there's a debate if that is the right decision for you to do, because we have this particular Six of Wands here being kind of a sad return and not being exactly as you expected and the turnout that you had hoped for, and the Two of Swords where you withdraw again and decide between these two people, trying to find out who is right, Six of Pentacles. And for some Virgos, it might just be wanting to have the options of both, but not really having any desire to truly commit to either, as we have the Devil card. So there can be some obsession going on. There could be a earth or water sign who is obsessed or fascinated with you, or as these are showing here, the water sign may not be paying any mind, but Virgo is paying attention to the water sign. There could also be a Capricorn in your life who is obsessed with a water sign that is in your life, that it's somehow involving you, whether that's you having to listen to it, if it is a close friend, or whether it is people within the family or within your relationships who are very focused on each other. So perhaps you're dating a Capricorn, but they're focused on a romantic interest from your past, and that coming up and being an issue. Now the first card down is the Death card, which is saying that this is definitely going to be a time of transitioning and continuing to shed whatever it is you haven't been letting go of this month. And it's a lot of work, and you know that. We have here Virgo looking at, with the Eight of Pentacles, all of that work that's there. And part of you still wanting to escape that. We see here this monkey figure in the back. So there is this theme of there being some tough shifting you're doing, and yet wanting to avoid it at all costs if possible. So there could be things that you should be working through that would be better for your emotional health and even physical health for some of you, if you are struggling with some addiction of some sort, whether that be food. Some of you are workaholics. Relationship patterns, I definitely see relationship patterns that are not healthy, that some are connected to and repeating. Those are all trying to release at this time, and yeah, so needing to shed that more, and not to keep returning to the ones that are unhealthy. So it's like the unhealthy ones you might be returning to those patterns, and the ones that are healthier that need the work to be done, you're kind of avoiding and not wanting to work through, Virgo. So let's go ahead and see what else is developing here in this spread. I do see some financial assistance for those of you who have been working and things are still tough. I do see some financial assistance and some messages about that coming through when it comes to finances. So go ahead and continue in that way. I do see communication coming through as well. But, excuse me, we have the Judgment card here. So there's definitely going to be some sharp critical thinking that the month is ending on like a huge note. So when it comes to finances, you will go up for review if you're trying to get a loan or things of that nature. They're definitely going to be extremely scrutinizing. I think that you can get the help that you need, but if there's anything whimsical, we have the Knight of Chalices here, anything that is not very committed that you're offering, people in all realms right now with you, Virgo, whether that is family, relationship, finances, they are expecting the traditional interpretation of Virgo. They're expecting you to be reliable and consistent and put together and able to provide for yourself and to contribute some hard work. And I feel like a lot of Virgos are not in that space that is what you want to do at this time, at least here at the end of November. And as such, you're going to receive this very critical, judgmental side from a lot of people who are, wanting to know that you are up to your stuff, basically, that you're not just kind of lollygagging through life or being too dreamy or too up in the air about things. They're going to want to know concrete details and proof that you are making changes, that you are able to fulfill what you're saying you're bringing to the table. And also for some Virgos, that's the outlook you'll be taking on things. So really scrutinize any contracts you're going into, really analyze any of these people who are coming back from the past that are wanting relationships. Again, we have this reversed fire sign here, so they could have sun, moon, or rising and a fire sign. And it doesn't necessarily look like you'll be happy going back to that relationship, and which is why you keep putting things on pause, because you're not really sure what you want in a lot of ways. And part of that is because you're in such a transition phase and you're really needing to continue to work on yourself here. And so it's hard for you to see, you're kind of in between people and places because you're in between different aspects of yourself that are changing, that you're not quite sure how they're going to end up. So let's go ahead and clarify a little bit more to some of these situations. I will be using, as I said, the Tarot of the Moon Garden for that. We'll look into some of these cards a bit more. All right, Virgo, 15th through 30th of November. Whoop. Okay, so definitely that is your transformation there. Going through King of Pentacles, Virgo, they're showing up with the Death card. So you're going to be quite different at the end of November than you are now, Virgo. And it's really the message to keep going through. Like, this is a completely very spiritual karmic time. We have the High Priestess here with your workload. Like, this is a very spiritual time for you. And it probably sucks in a lot of ways. The Death card isn't easy. It takes a lot of work, especially for an earth sign that, wants to have a more stable, practical life. But it can also be, comforting a little bit to see that in the reading, because you're like, okay, I'm not crazy. Like, I'm really going through these big changes. And it makes sense that things feel up in the air and a little bit out of control at times. But the message is definitely to keep pushing forward and allowing these changes to happen, even though it's difficult. So we see here, so the water sign could definitely be a Pisces. We have the High Priestess showing up. And so this High Priestess and this Pisces energy brings a lot of hard work. So you definitely have someone who's seeing through you at this time. And sometimes you might feel that is negative. I can see the Queen of Cups here, Chalices, by the 5 of sign of Scorpio for a bit here before we go into Sag. And I feel like this Scorpio season with the Death card has been very intense for you, really revealing a lot to you, and it is making you more vulnerable, and the things that Virgo feels are insecurities or not as the best of your qualities, it's making those a little more visible to others, but it is meant to do it for healing and for some resolution. Now I do still see the Ace of Cups here on this fire sign. So this is somebody that you care about and that you love and that you are hoping to have a new beginning with. There could definitely be a pregnancy involved for some of you, or children, or just the hope of another love offer, which is what is drawing you back to this person. But again, in the end, we feel you wanting to backtrack and leave that situation after all with the 10 of Staffs, the 10 of Wands, and feeling overburdened by it. And in the end, it could definitely be family related for some of you. Like I said, children with the Hierophant and the Six of Pentacles, trying to figure out, what is the right thing to do. Your responsibilities and your heart going in different places at this time. Let's see here. Yeah, and that's why we have the Three of Cups clarified by the Four of Cups here, because it's very much, this Three of Cups in this deck here almost looks like the Four of Cups, where you have these offerings to connect with others, but you're not really wanting to take them. You're wanting to pull away from them and just feeling very like stagnant and tired of the same old thing. You want to offer, I feel like with this fire sign, it could even be just like you want to be in love. You want to have something fresh and new. You want this rejuvenation. You want to have a new partner that you can be inspired by. But then still feeling like, in the end, it's not fitting. It's just not fitting. Things aren't quite fitting. And that person is really not in a healthy space to receive that attention and that affection at this time, Virgo. So really seeing if that's what you want to do, putting your eggs in that basket, so to speak. Let's see about this judgment that's going on. That's the title card. Yeah, so this judgment, Virgo, is you're really holding it on yourself at the end of the month, which is a very Virgoian thing to do. Having that critical mindset, really judging yourself. But I think it'll be okay, because I think in some ways you've been wanting to get away from that a little bit. And just like kind of fly by the seat of your pants a little bit and not worry so much about how you're affecting others, and just see how things go if you kind of just follow your impulses. But towards the end of the month, you're going to pull back from that and be like, okay, like what did I create? What happened from me doing that, from just trusting my heart and then trusting my desires and then trusting my mind? You're kind of been juggling between all of those. And so here, again, it's saying you're starting the month knowing that you're going through a very important kind of karmic phase and spiritual phase for yourself, and you're ending the month evaluating, like, have you accomplished the things you wanted to in this cycle? Are you having the relationships that you're supposed to that are helping your path? Are you personally feeling fulfilled with, the work and the input and the output of your life, basically? And for the communication, we have the Six of Swords. So you're talking to others. There's definitely going to probably be some people that you are cutting off and letting go. There are also going to be others that you are going into the new phase of things with, who you realize, they are trustworthy in these transformations that I've been making. They, maybe they were right about some of the things they were counseling you on, and you guys come to an understanding. And others that you've been counseling and trying to go into a new phase of life, that you are then able to come to a happy place and go into a healing, safe space with those people moving forward. It could just be in communication. At this time, it might not be, like a full-fledged, stable phase of the relationship right away, but it is things being smoothed over. And this is after the Five of Swords. We're having the Six of Swords. So it could be with the Pisces or the water sign here in your life that you are having some resolution with and able to either move on from or with. Okay. Yes, and this Knight of Cups, this Knave of Chalices that's been showing up, or this page, I'm sorry, is these love offers that are coming in. So you're going to have to weed through and see which love offers are suiting you and which ones aren't. Because right now you're kind of like, I just want to like everybody. I don't want to be tied down. You're just everything to the wind. All these Scorpio planets are harmonious to Virgo. They're getting you feeling some kind of way. But it is saying, pay attention while you're getting other offers or dreaming about other options. So are the people that you're talking to and the people that you're juggling. So you're going to have to really, that's part of that clarity that you're going to need in cutting through everything, is to see which offers are genuine and where you are just being set up. This flew out with it as well. The Page of Wands, where you are being set up yourself to be in a dynamic of competition. All right. Let's see any other options here. I do see some bank loans able to come through, or financial aid for some people who are waiting for it, or something of that nature, or even help from family in some way for the financial things. But there's mostly I think a lot of things are about your spiritual changes and your relationships at this point. Okay. Okay, so some final messages, which are big ones for Virgo here. We have the King of Pentacles showing up again, showing that you want a partner. And again, for some of you, there is this child coming in. But back to back with the partners, trying to figure out, trying to unmask them and see which ones are genuine and worth that long-term investment. We have that clarified by the Magician, so there could be some air energy, particularly Gemini with some of the people that you're deciding. But basically, you know that you have options. You know that you can manifest what you want in a partner, and trying to allow yourself. You don't have your mask off, right? Because you're still shedding. You're still seeing who you are at this time, which is okay to do. You're still really searching yourself and working on yourself here, the High Priestess and the Eight of Pentacles. So you're still going through the phase of unmasking yourself to see what you want, Virgo, and seeing, then being able to open up to your full potential and start manifesting your partner. So we have Temperance, you trying out different things, you seeing, the World card, you're trying it all. You want to travel, you want to try different relationship dynamics, you want to respond to people differently than you have been, you want to do creative financing, you want to start doing, even arts could be big. Like you just want to kind of like challenge what people expect of you and what people demand of you, and go into a different mode. So that is part of your transformation now, is expressing that. It's even like a change of her wings and of her hair in these two images here. And we have the Hanged Man. So that is your spiritual phase. You are going to, with the Knight of Cups, you are going to have this emotional and spiritual peace, I think, that you've been searching for. You are going to find that zen where you feel connected, and it's not just a matter of like the tough, hard stuff that comes spiritually and for enlightenment, but where you feel heard and connected and peaceful with yourself and with, your spiritual path and everywhere that you're at. It can be a pause that some things are put on, and you might have a pause as you figure out who you are as a romantic person and as a romantic partner, but you will come out of that pause in a much more fluid, happy, content place, I think, which will be very good. And again, some of you can have a very strong Pisces who's coming in or working in your life to help you with some of these themes. All right, I saw some messages pop up, but they disappeared on my phone, so I'm sorry. It's my first time live. I don't know how to answer them. But on that note here of the knight on his dreamy white horse, we'll pull some oracle from the Oracle of the Unicorns for some advice for Virgo. Freedom. Live wild and free. Choose your freedom. Claim your independence. And I think that is a good summation of what Virgo is going through right now. You're trying to unbox yourself, to find who you are, to be wild, but to be true. Let's see. Pull a couple more for Virgo, end of November, the 15th to the 30th. Gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Honor your gentleness and speak words of love. So they might seem counterintuitive. We have the Temperance card over here. You're learning to blend things that don't seem like they'll go together, things that are a little bit more difficult to work out, but that are worth it, right? The World card, that are worth the effort. So here we have this wild freedom, and then we have this gentleness, this rebellion to conform, and yet this appreciation and respect for others at the same time. And I think that is what is going on here, where there's been some situations that might have been very immature or very confrontational, argumentative with others, where it was hard because people were so different or the competition was so different, to maintain both that kind of individual respect for yourself and yet an empathy and compassion with others. And so those are things that are really going to start coming into your life and being something that you can more easily embody simultaneously. And friendship. So yes, like I thought, some of these relationships are just meant to be friendships, or also already are friendships, and they're not necessarily romantic partners, but they're learning how to be closer friends with people and how to have safer friend groups and people that are supportive. So seek out your soul family, surround yourself with positive people, and spend more time socializing. So it's kind of the energy of those coming together, the self and others balancing out. All right, and I'm just going to I want to do the saltwater reading cards as well. So these are the saltwater reading cards. And these are the Oracle of the Unicorns. So we'll just do one of these, because I just feel like a little water energy is good for Virgo, end of November, 15th to 30th. All right, we have Coral, Strength. So remember, Virgo, you guys are so good at having patience, having attention to detail, to building up massively over time that which you have in mind. And Coral works very much that way. It's an investment. It's a slow, beautiful growth that brings structure and security to the environment and the ocean bottom there. So you're doing much the same within yourself. So have patience. Try not to be overly critical on yourself, like we see the Judgment and the Ace of Swords. You know, tough love on yourself in the things that you have been avoiding. There are some areas there, but in knowing that you are also lovable and that you are investing in yourself, that it's a strength to do so. You know, it's not a vulnerability or a weakness, and that it's making something beautiful in the future that will be very sustaining to yourself and to your relationships. So that is all for now for your mid-month check-in. I did you guys first because you have been the most active on videos, which is great. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and I appreciate you tuning in.